We've heard about descendants of European Jewry returning to communities in Europe, largely abandoned by the Jews or wishing at least to reclaim their heritage and citizenship in order to get a European passport. And eligibility for European citizenship, this time, particularly in Romania, is becoming of high interest in the past several years. Those who wish to take advantage will likely want some help in navigating the system, though. And here with more is Michael Decker of Cohen, Decker, Pex, and Brosh Law Offices. Michael, thanks so much for being with us. Now, who is qualified to obtain Romanian citizenship in this way, and are they considered returning citizens, or is there some other status that they're given?
Well, Romania has a very generous policy regarding reclaiming citizenship, and it is very, very relevant to descendants of Jews, and you can find them also in Israel and also all over North American countries today. Basically, Romania at one point had almost 750,000 Jews living in its borders, and most of them left Romania. Those also that weren't, unfortunately, victims of World War II, and their descendants are eligible today with certain conditions to reclaim basically Romanian citizenship.
So, if you could sum it up, what does the process involve? How long does it take?
So basically, we're dealing with three main sections of the law that would apply on descendants of Romanian citizens. Basically, we have Section 5, Section 10, and Section 11. Section 5 is rarely used because it's dealing with a direct descendant of an actual citizen. Usually we deal with Section 10 and 11. Section 10 goes to the third generation, and Section 11 goes to the fourth generation. Section 10 basically deals with those that were born in the territories of Romania as we know them today. And Section 11 deals with the greater borders of Romania, because Romania used to have bigger borders, and those that were born in the greater borders but then lost their citizenship because of the change of borders, basically can bequeath the citizenship up until the fourth generation. Most Section 10 and 11 are the sections that apply usually because whenever people left Romania, they almost automatically lost their citizenship. So usually we're dealing with people that lost their citizenship, but still up until the third and fourth generation, depending on Section 10 or 11, the descendants can reclaim Romanian citizenship.
So what does one need to present to prove that they are qualified for citizenship?
The main requirement and the first initial requirement that you need to present is a birth certificate. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's not even possible to locate the birth certificate, especially if people were born in rural areas that aren't even part of Romania anymore. But even then, we have located birth certificates in very extraordinary situations. But the first questions we would usually ask are exactly where were your grandparents or great-grandparents born, and if you have the birth certificate. If you do not have the birth certificate, before we can even take on a case, we need to first locate it, and that can take a couple months, but thankfully many times it is possible to locate a birth certificate. And once we locate the birth certificate, it's usually just red tape. Sometimes the cases are more complicated because, for example, when many of these Romanian Jews made Aliyah, they received Hebrew names in Israel, and then the names aren't identical to the names on the Romanian documents, which forces us to then go to court.
Fun challenges. I'm sorry to cut you off. Well, I guess I have to ask, do new immigrants to Romania, are they getting any certain benefits as a returning citizen? What are the advantages here?
Well, the main advantages is that ever since 2007, Romania, partially at least, is part of the EU, and once you're part of the EU, you're part of a whole continent that's still today one of the most privileged continents to live in, and here basically we're dealing with the option of receiving citizenship without living in Romania or in the EU. So basically it allows someone just to hold a Romanian passport, which then gives them the option to live anywhere in Europe, to work anywhere in Europe, to study in Europe with reduced costs, and even to enjoy sometimes the different health benefits that European countries have to offer. And I'm sure also that many of these descendants can also contribute to Europe and be of great benefit to the EU itself. So it's not just a one-sided thing.
Mutual benefit. I love it. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us and breaking this down. I know that there are a lot of people, I'm sure, who are very excited to jump in on this opportunity. Michael Decker, thank you so much.
With pleasure.